Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Patel, and today we're going to be talking about the cycle of sleep deprivation in today's society. Now, many people are sleep deprived right now. Probably 50% of the people in this world right now haven't gotten up to 7 to 8 hours of sleep today. And that's a remarkable number. That's like 3 billion people. And it just amazes me that our society has kind of created a deep hole in terms of work where many people in this world have to work so long hours. And there are even whatever's happening in, let's say, in Africa with the lithium situation, where people have to dig up mines and mines, and they're working like 16-hour days. And the people, so my point is, the people have to work long hours in any part of the world. And in some of the places, people use stimulants, caffeine. Now, I love coffee. I love caffeine. I think it's the best psychoactive compound that you can use for your mental health because it's just truly amazing. It increases your alertness so quickly that it's just hard to beat for any given day. And so I am a fan of caffeine, but I'm not a fan of when caffeine kind of interferes my sleep and that causes subsequent sleep deprivation. You'll understand everything that I'm saying in a few minutes. So before going into why caffeine causes sleep deprivation, I would like to really explain briefly what is sleep. So I would like to go into sleep biology, which I haven't gone into before because I recently learned about it and it's pretty damn interesting. So I have currently this book called Why We Sleep, and in that, Dr. Matthew Walker, the author, gives us a nice figure of what sleep looks like. Even on a recent podcast of Andrew Huberman, the guest, Dr. Gina Poe, gave the audience what a perfect night's sleep looks like. And she said, a perfect night's sleep is comprised of 4 to 5 cycles of deep sleep. And that's what you see here. It's a 4 to 5 cycles of hitting deep sleep. However, all of these stages are really important. And I want to start from the first cycle. And so the trends you see here is that as you go through the cycles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the deep sleep shortens a little bit. And then the REM sleep takes control in cycle 5. REM sleep, to get it out of the way, where you dream. That's where dreaming occurs. That's where the emotional part of your brain, amygdala, is really activated. It's so cool. Your muscular tone is so inhibited during that because if you acted out your dreams, you would kick the person who is sleeping next to you, or you would hurt yourself, etc. And so that is REM sleep. And the REM sleep occurs in every cycle of that. There are stages of slow wave sleep, and those are non-REM sleep stages 3 and 4. And those are really deeper sleeps that you really want to get to. And those are really for memory consolidation. Memory consolidation is where you really consolidate memories, strengthen memories. Basically, it is a way for your brain to stick to memories. Have you learned to play guitar yesterday? Or have you learned a person's name yesterday? That is all at play at night. That is all solidified in your brain at night when you're sleeping, primarily in the stages 3 and 4. Additionally, for muscle bros here, building of the muscle, building of new tissue, and strengthening your bones occurs in stage 4. And that's the deepest sleep. Stage 4 is the deepest sleep where you kind of build your muscles, basically. Okay? And for all this to happen, I'll sprinkle some neuroscience. GABA is a inhibitory neurotransmitter in your central nervous system. And so that is released in the sleep. Certain things are inhibited so that the process and the cycle of sleep could take place. So every cycle is about 90 minutes, and you go through 4 to 5 cycles, and that is why sleep experts, people who are doing sleep biology research, they emphasize why you should get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Even if you read Matthew Walker's book, he will convince you to sleep 7 to 8 hours. Because even if you are sleep deprived for one night, it takes you up to 2 nights to really get that sleep back. And as I recall, people who were sleep restricted in a study for, or actually 7 nights, their cognitive performance was so down, they couldn't even make up their cognitive functioning even after a full night's sleep, after sleep deprivation, that after that huge week of sleep deprivation. And so the point is, sleep is really essential for our cognitive performance. And let's just talk about how caffeine really plays a role. The cycle of sleep deprivation can really be caused by caffeine, because caffeine addiction is kind of a different topic. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. Now, in today's day and age, we need to work. We need to be awake. We need to be alert when we're working. And let's say a person, I'll just give you my example. I have to wake up most days every day at 5 a.m. And I have to go to work at 6. I have to clock in at 6. Now, let's just say I had 3 hours of sleep. So I drink coffee at 6 a.m. And then in the middle of the day, during like lunchtime, I'll have a Red Bull. And during the afternoon, I probably have another Red Bull just to keep myself going throughout the night, because I don't want to just fall asleep when I go home after work. I want to watch Netflix. I want to stay awake. I want to do this. I want to do that. And so I'm physically restricting myself from sleeping in that way. And so I'll have these little sessions of caffeine ingestion. And so that could equal to close to 500 to 600 milligram of caffeine throughout the day. And your last caffeine session is, let's just say at 6 p.m., you have your last caffeine session. There's a twist. I also have work next day, so I have to be in bed at 9, 3 hours before I sleep. I can't sleep. When I head to bed, when I'm in my bed at 9, I can't sleep. Why? Because I've dumped so much caffeine in my system that is creating sleep deprivation. It is creating insomnia from caffeine. And then you cannot sleep again for the next night. And so research really shows that if you ingest caffeine too late in the evening, it could reduce your sleep by 1 hour or something. And so if I had like 5 hours of sleep the next night, I would probably have 4 to 3 hours of sleep, because in my previous short form video, I have really laid out this concept of sleep quantity does not equal sleep quality. The amount of time you're actually sleeping does not equal to the amount of quality sleep you're having, because you're tossing and turning and you are awake to go to the bathroom. There's some sort of disturbance in your sleep. So why does it cause sleep deprivation? Well, the caffeine's half-life is about 4 to 6 hours. And data has even shown that caffeine can stay in your system for up to 11 hours. That means if I had ingested an energy drink or even coffee at 6 p.m., I won't be able to sleep well because it will be still in my system. Additionally, what caffeine really does is it reduces the amount of slow wave deep sleep. Now, this is really critical because slow wave deep sleep, as we talked about, is for memory consolidation and also your tissue repair, bone strengthening, and your muscle repair, right? And so these physiological processes are really impaired in your body when you ingest caffeine late at night or even in the evening. And you could say late in the afternoon, around 2-3 p.m. for some people. This is a quote from a study. This is a result from a study. And this article was published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, so they know what they're talking about. Now, in this study, what they did is they took participants and they divided them up in 4 groups, I believe. And For the independent variable groups, it would be caffeine ingestion at bedtime, caffeine ingestion 3 hours before the bedtime, and then caffeine ingestion 6 hours before the bedtime. And so what they found was the results of this study suggest that 400 milligram of caffeine taken 0, 3, or even 6 hours prior to bedtime significantly disrupts sleep. Even at 6 hours, caffeine reduced sleep by more than 1 hour. The degree of sleep loss, if expected over multiple nights, may have detrimental effects on daytime function. All of the 3 caffeine conditions right here showed a reduction in the slow wave sleep. The fact of the matter is that caffeine is evil only when it's ingested late in the day, late in the afternoon, or late at night. So this is what I do. I do not have caffeine, whether it comes from coffee, energy drinks, etc., after 12 p.m., after 12 noon. The reason why is just what I said. Like I also have experienced insomnia when I have ingested coffee late at night. And so I think this is a pretty actionable approach. If you are a person who is suffering from insomnia, and this also goes for other things. Like this also goes for bright light late in the day and even a large meal before bed, right? It's just gonna disrupt your sleep. And this also goes for alcohol. So this is a pretty actionable advice from this video. And I'm gonna follow it too, because sleep is something that you don't really want to miss on, because it's such an unconscious state that normal people like us have no idea of what really goes in the sleep or what really goes when we are sleeping. And it's not deeply researched on. And so the only thing we can do is just find out things that are affecting sleep and then taking actions to bettering sleep. And in this case, caffeine, and not ingesting it late in the night. If you have liked this video, I hope you have liked this video. And if you have found this helpful, you know what to do. Like, subscribe. I will catch you in the next one.